to go 5-0 up. In 1 minute, Galbally have now got 2 points, and even looking at the body language now and listening to the roar from the crowd, they were just dying for them to give something to get the crowd into this game, and now Galbally have all the momentum.
Oh, absolutely. Another good piece of play there. Conor Donnelly knocking it down there into the path of Rafferty and taking the return, and then back to Declan Murphy, the man that scored that point a matter of seconds ago. Now they've got their tails up. They're on a bit of an adventure forward once again. Nugent, the man that opened the scoring for them, has possession on that far side. Been shadowed, been pushed out, but still manages to get the shot away. It's a tight angle, it's an acute angle, and it has gone wide, but they are winning possession now that they hadn't been doing, and that is pivotal for them. Nugent back into action again, the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is Anthony McKenna, a late replacement there coming on to replace Martin McCreesh, and you can see Martin there getting some treatment from Michaela McGuigan there on the bench. He looks to be in some discomfort, shall we say, from that injury he sustained. The ball breaks around the middle of the park once again. Again, it's Mulgrew who takes it away, and that man's getting a lot on the ball now. McGardy, it's 3 or 4 times now he's been in the ball and something has come off it. He's a free now, and Nugent takes it out the near side to Daniel Kerr, and Daniel Kerr looks up to see as their options on. Slips on the surface absolutely perfect here this afternoon. As Mark said, the ground staff pulled out all the stops. Liam Rafferty gets the shot away, and has it went wide again? It has back-to-back wides for them. But they're getting the ball now, Mark, that they hadn't been doing.
They are, and you know, the Pomeroy kick-out is actually under a bit of pressure here, Paddy, too. Anthony McKenna has a decent left-footed strike, but they always tend to come out this side here, which means that Galbally are getting a read on his kick-outs. Now, I see him looking across to the stand side now, but his traditional kick with the left foot is here, so he gets a short away to Frank that time. But the last couple he's put out, Galbally have been onto them, and they've kept the possession, and that's a good turnover as well, Paddy.
A good turnover from Cormac Donnelly. He done very well and gets the ball to Rafferty down this near side and gets a free for his trouble, but that was a good piece of play there from Cormac Donnelly, the late replacement for Mark Donnelly.
But it's funny, Paddy, how one miss at one side can just change things, you know. And Pomeroy were cruising, they were 4-0 up, a simple enough opportunity to go 5-0 up. Galbally get a settler of a score from the kick out, they get 2 in a row, and now all the momentum's with them. It's a 2-point game, and they've actually missed a couple of opportunities to get level here, but the Pomeroy kick out is definitely under a bit more pressure here now, and Galbally have their tails up.
Cormac Donnelly with a free. And you can hear from the crowd that he has certainly made his mark with that one. Excellent score from him. And there's just remarkably a 1-point game after the dominance that they had, that Pomeroy had in the opening 15 minutes. It has all changed.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cormac Donnelly, I suppose it's one of the things he's in the team for. His place kicking is absolutely supreme. He can float 45s for fun, Paddy, and he just literally stroked that one over the bar, just and a 1-point game.
But the nonchalant style of Joe McMahon there from a time back, of course, as well.
That's very nonchalant.
Laid back almost to Ryan Begley, forward into space. And the man on the ball now is Aidan Woods. Woods shirks off the attention to the defender, goes to ground just inside the D. And despite the fact that Galbally defenders throw their hands on their heads in disgust, that it is a free, and it will be a chance for, well, I think you're going to leave it to Kieran McGeary from close range to pop this one over the bar to open the gap back out to 2. But it's been closer perhaps in the last couple of minutes than it had been in the opening exchanges, and Galbally have hauled themselves back into this one. Great atmosphere here today. All the kids behind those goals, they're really enjoying the occasion here as McGeary steps up to hit this one, and near enough as expected, McGeary has popped that one over the bar. 5 points to 3 points. Good score from McGeary, but it's okay, I suppose, saying they're tap overs, but you still have to score them, Mark, as you well know. And as a former free taker yourself, it's just not all as simple as it look.
No, and sometimes there's more pressure on the ones you should score, Paddy, so that was an important score. A brilliant bit of play from Aidan Woods. Aidan Woods is a very, very pacey, direct player. He won the free with his direct running, and Kieran McGeary does not miss really opportunities like that.
And there's another man with a direct run on Denver Nugent going forward as well, but the attacker didn't read the script there, and out the ball comes out this near side once again. McGeary coming more and more into the game as well as it progresses. We've hit the 20-minute mark, 10 minutes or so to go in this first half. The LCC Group Tyrone Intermediate Football Championship decider here at Healy Park. Perfect conditions underfoot and weather-wise as well after some shocking weather over the past 24 hours. Galbally going forward down this near side. They've hauled themselves back into this game. They were 4 points to no score down, but a brisk brace of points pulled them back into contention, and now they're going to try and close that gap once again as Rafferty has the ball on that far side. Rafferty launches it long. A 5th point in the championship for Rafferty. Excellent finish from him. And, well, you need sort of leaders on the day, Mark, and that's a leader there in the making.
Yeah, that's an inspirational score from Liam Rafferty there. Just exactly what Galbally needed at the right time too. He came up and there was nothing else on, and he had the belief in himself, Paddy, to settle himself and just float over a lovely score. And again, it's back to a 1 point game. Aidan Woods, I have to say, is showing very strong out in front in the half forward line here for Pomeroy too, Paddy.
Yeah, working really, really hard. He gets a great ball through the middle. Here's a chance perhaps for Pomeroy. It goes to Oliver McCreesh. McCreesh closed in there. He went down under pressure. The ball spins away. And the defender there, the big full-back, Conor Donnelly, comes out with the Pomeroy fans not happy with that. No. A wee bit of afters up there as well. But certainly the challenge went in. McCreesh on another day perhaps. Well, wait to see, there's a man down this near side as well. I think it's one of the Galbally midfielders. We'll wait to see how that develops. He seems to have picked up a knock as the play continues to Donnelly in this corner, the top side. Perhaps the wetter part of the pitch, the only wet part off the field here at Omagh. Back it comes to Daniel Kerr. Tried to shirk off the attention to the defender. Gets it back to Sean Murphy. Murphy under a bit of pressure now. 2 men. Burns closing them down. Everybody sort of tied up in that top corner. Back it comes to the number 6, Nugent. Nugent steadies himself. Thought about the shot and then hands the ball. Well, he looked to throw the ball away there at one stage, but Declan Murphy picked it up, and the number 9, Enda McGardy, picks it up now. Takes the return, shoots, delivers. Excellent equalising point for Galbally. Pearses back in level terms and certainly deserved that one. Fine point there for the midfielder.
Yeah, again, Paddy, I think I would like to see that Ollie McCreesh chance for a goal there, because I know the Pomeroy ones weren't happy with it, but Ollie McCreesh is such an intelligent player, the wee dummy inside, but I think it was actually the experienced Cian McCrory that got back just at the right time to put enough pressure on Ollie. 50-50 call maybe on a penalty. Fergal didn't give it this time, and Galbally go up to the other end of the field and work a very good score, and you know, this thing is really coming to the boil here nicely before half time, Paddy.
It's opening up. Ryan Begley lays the ball back again. McGarry shirks off the attention of a defender but loses possession of the ball, and then onto the challenge goes the number 4 there for Galbally, yeah. Herson.
There's a booking coming here for Ryan Begley, I think, here as well. It was just it was excellent play from Shea Herson, but he kind of ducked down into the tackle, and Ryan Begley came in with a loose arm, and it looked probably worse than it was, because Shea is not the tallest fella, I suppose, but he was really brave going in for that ball there after the dispossession on Kieran McGeary, and a bit of frustration maybe from Ryan Begley now puts him on a dodgy ground, because he's sort of man marking Liam Rafferty here. He's wearing number 5, but the 2 number 5s are marking each other, Paddy, so Ryan's got to be extremely careful here, because Liam Rafferty, as we know from watching not only with Galbally but with the county this year as well, is more than capable of bombing up the field and asking questions of him, so he got to be extremely careful in every tackle he makes from this point on.
I think there's another issue there as well. By the looks of things, Galbally are considering a couple of changes, because there were Kevin Kelly and John Moylan there were in deep conversation a few moments ago and signalled a couple of substitutes to go and warm up, so they may be contemplating a change here with 24 and a half minutes gone. 5 points apiece. It's really bubbling to the boil now without doubt, as it's picked up by Mulgrew. Can Galbally edge themselves in front here before half time, because they really battled back into this one? Sean Murphy out that far side steadying things, and Mulgrew looked to be a challengement in there. The referee has seen it.
Yeah, and the Pomeroy bench are irate, absolutely irate with that challenge.
Kevin Taggart over there as well. So
yeah, so Fergal's going to consult with his linesman here, but there's no doubt about it, the Pomeroy bench appear to be indicating maybe that there was an elbow raise as opposed to an arm. Fergal has taken his advice from his linesman, and again, there's a card coming, but the colour could be crucial here now. Yeah,
Seamus Mulgrew it is. We'll keep a watch. It's a yellow card, and Kieran McGeary got involved there a wee bit as well with Sean Murphy, and well, nothing comes to that, but it's a yellow card for Mulgrew. So a couple of yellow cards flashed in the space of a couple of minutes, but there hasn't been a really bad tackle in this encounter. It's been decent enough football as well. In the opening 25 minutes of the LCC Group Intermediate Final, it's Loughlin, the captain of this Pomeroy side, striding through. The man pushed him for sure there was Enda McCarty, and I thought the momentum was going to carry him on there, but he just couldn't get his legs under him at the end up, and went to ground. And the free kick 47 metres out from the Gorton Road end of the ground here. Denver Nugent wants it on the far side, but I think McGeary might just have a go at this one. No, pops it through into space. Picked up. Burns is in there. A couple of men. Woods as well. McCreesh. They're all sort of. Oh, the high challenge goes in there, and that's going to be a free in.
But again, Aidan Woods is such a good ball winner,
Woods
Paddy.
is sharp,
He's just raw pace, you know, and he's so brave. He'll take his man on at every opportunity, and that makes the referee answer a question. It also makes the Galbally defenders think twice about going near him. He's actually won a couple of crucial frees here. Kieran McGeary put the first one over the bar at his ease. This is, for a man of Ollie McCreesh's calibre, an easy opportunity as well. It will just push Pomeroy in the lead, but I do think, although we haven't seen an awful lot of edge, I think the longer this game goes on and it's close, Paddy, I think tensions are going to come to the fore here, because these two know each other extremely well, and they realise the stakes are extremely high.
Absolutely. And umpire signal, yep, Ollie McCreesh on target, his second point of the afternoon. And well, McCreesh doesn't miss chances like that often now, it has to be said. And right on the far side there, see Martin McCreesh still receiving treatment there as this ball works itself up the middle of the park once again. And the McGarry's been in the ball so often now. I'd love to see the stats on that, how many times he has touched the ball in this opening half. Back it comes to Rafferty. Rafferty trying to find Donnelly, late replacement for Mark Donnelly in that far side. And he cuts inside, good play. McGarry has it again. McGarry flashes the shot in and finds the target once again. An excellent second point of the afternoon for McGarry. Inspirational young man there too. Yeah,
that's a quality score, and again, the Galbally are much smarter actually as this first half has rolled on here, Paddy. The ball into Cormac Donnelly is of a lot higher quality than what it was in the first few, maybe 10-15 minutes of the game where Frank Burns was cutting them out. He won the ball, flicked it off, but from an acute angle, that's an excellent score from Enda McGarry, and we're in level pegging again in less than 3 minutes to go to the half time.
And you were spot on, Mark, as well, what you said, that, you know, that we're going to have to play the ball further up the park to create the openings, and they've done that on several occasions here, and it's been successful for them. 6 points apiece of this at size level for just the second time in this encounter. But Pomeroy on the offensive here once again through the middle, ball inside. This is danger again. It's the high ball coming in, and McGeary pops that one over the bar. Excellent score, and well, it's end-to-end stuff at this stage.
Yeah, that's a huge point from Q-Pat McGeary. He is such an inspirational leader. I know he's not the captain this year, but he was 3 years ago when they went on to win Ulster. But to see him driving forward, you can hear what it means to the Pomeroy support on the far side. And I suppose for that wee pocket of Tyrone, Paddy, it's been an unbelievable day. OK, Kildress were beaten, but Kildress, the Rock, Galbally and Pomeroy, you could put a blanket over the floor in there, and it's been a huge day for them. So, you know, this game is just coming nicely to the boil here. It's end-to-end stuff, and both attacks seem to have an edge on both sets of defenders here. When they do move forward and the quality of ball in is good, that there's scores in both these forward attacking units. So a goal could be huge in this, Paddy, because it's been point for point so far. We've had a couple of half goal chances on each side. Nobody's hit the net yet, but if you could open up a 3-point lead here, it would be a massive boost, especially come up to half time here.
They've scored 11 goals between them. They've racked up 653 and 545 respectively. Yeah. Pomeroy with the 545. So okay, an extra game involved in that. High ball and Donnelly underneath this one. Can he get possession of it again? The ball's still in that far side, and it's going to be a free in on the far side. And a real bit of bravery there from Kerr as he collected that one. And Cormac Donnelly, he's been very, very good.
He has been, because, and I think especially as the game has went on, with 4 minutes additional time at the end of the half here, Paddy, but Galbally have tidied up their delivery, and I think that has to be commended. The message came in from the sideline about the quality of ball going in, and they're actually cutting out Frank Burns now as opposed to him cutting out the ball. So the combination in there really between Cormac Donnelly's aerial ability and the electric pace of Daniel Kerr is a really potent mix. And then you've the likes of Sean Murphy buzzing about, and Declan Murphy as well, Liam Rafferty pushing forward, and the McGarry's pushed forward for a couple of scores. So gone are the days where 13, 14 and 15 get all the scores. I mean, you've Denver Nugent number 2 for Pomeroy, number 3 Q-Pat McGeary, Brendan Burns, who's normally a cornerback, scoring, and on the other side you've Liam Rafferty and Ronan Nugent who've come forward, and then the McGarry from the middle of the field. So there's scores coming from everywhere here today, Paddy.
Absolutely, and they're all quality scores, and that's a key thing as well to mention. You know, with all the football so far has been at a poor kick out. It will be won back by the men in blue. Liam Rafferty, he's got an opening and goes for a shot himself, and it's tipped over the crossbar by the goalkeeper. Rafferty just saw the headlines there. He went straight through the middle, and an excellent score, and that puts Galbally ahead for the first time.
Yeah, and Galway have bunched their points, Paddy. Whenever they get one, they tend to get two, and they're putting a lot of pressure here now on Anthony McKenna's kick out. And okay, the strike from Anthony, he's capable of much better, but you have to pay credit to him because that ball could easily end up in the back of the net, and he showed a lot of agility and bravery to jump up and tip it over the bar.
Yeah, that was good stuff there from him, and super take in the middle of the park by McGarty. His influence coming more and more into the contest as well. Picked up by Kerr. Kerr from distance. What a fine score from Kerr. 3 points on the bounce, and they're now 9 points to 7 ahead. Remarkable turnaround.
Yeah, and that's the bunching of points we're talking about, Paddy. This young Galbally team are thriving off that confidence. And Brian McGuckin has raced in from the sideline and he's shouting in messages to Anthony McKenna. They're obviously going to try and vary the kick out. I'd say you'd see the next one going out towards the stand side because they're not getting an awful lot of joy. They're trying to work it short, Paddy. The joy is not there to be had when they've gone long towards us here. The Galbally have picked out the last few.
Yes, that one there perhaps lucky as well. And they've lost almost possession. They have lost possession again, but it's won back bravely there. But almost the kick out almost cost them dear once again. The referee said there was a foul on the ball, and it's going to be a free once again to Galbally, who really have their tails up.
Yeah.
9 points to 7.
A handling error there, and I think Pomeroy would like to get to half time. Just Galbally have picked up the momentum. They're playing with a lot of pace here and a lot of confidence, and Pomeroy would do well just to stop them getting any more scores before half time, just to settle the thing down here, because they are definitely showing signs of being a wee bit nervy here, whereas Galbally have the wind in their sails, as they say, coming into injury time here, Paddy.
Half time's going to come perhaps at just the wrong time for the men in blue at this juncture, as the ball's picked up by Conor Quinn, trying to thread the pass inside there to Ronan Nugent, and umpires look, and it's a nod of the head, and that is went over the bar from Nugent, and it is now 10 points to 7, and they're playing with a great gay, I'm going to say gay band, but they're just throwing caution to the one completely. As we talked about in the build up to this game, there was going to be that sort of element that whenever Galbally get going and able to throw the ball around, they're so much better in trying to play a controlled game. They can just do it so well, but they have to defend a wee bit now in these latter stages of the half as Burns comes forward. A rare sortie forward for him, despite the fact he's wearing 14 in his back. Out this near side it comes to Duffin. He's been quiet after a brisk start to McGeary. Down this near side, McGeary takes a touch and then threads the pass through inside there to Duffin once again. Under pressure, good defending. The referee says it's a free out.
Yeah, it's all Galbally at the minute here now, Paddy, and even the opportunities Pomeroy are creating, they're going down into corners and cul-de-sacs there. It's extremely hard to get rid of. They've got a lot of their joy when they've played the ball in quick to Aidan Woods and Ollie McCreesh in front of the goals, but that type of play there, that's another big turnover from Galbally, and they're just going to game manage the last minute here, hopefully get to half time from their point of view, but it's been a massive turnaround there the last 5 minutes. You had Pomeroy 1 point up and happy enough position, and now Galbally have opened up a 3 point lead, and they're coming hungry looking for more here.
Yeah, driving forward, the veteran there, McCrory, takes a touch of the ball and then lays it off again. And that man who's been so influential, McGarty, through into space. Sean Og Mulgrew. Mulgrew lays it back again. They're sort of playing tight triangles with the ball now. Back it comes to McGarty again, and McGarty goes the whole way back there to Daniel Kerr. Kerr's got a couple of options on. Decides to go down that touchline, the stand side here at Omagh. Back to McGarty. They're just toying now with Pomeroy. They want to see the half out. We've played almost the 34 minutes at the referee had called, the 4 additional minutes, and he blows the half-time whistle. And I tell you, that's been an entertaining half of football there, Mark, for sure. Especially the way that after trailing by 4 points and huffing and puffing through the mid-sector of the half, Galbally really came to life in the last maybe 5-10 minutes.
They did. Pomeroy really weren't showing signs of nerves early on. They came in as underdogs. They'd been here before, Paddy. They've won here before, so they know what it's all about. It's brand new stuff for Galbally. They're looking to win their first ever intermediate title. That brings its own nerves. There's the pressure of being favourites, which doesn't help things as well. There's the whole issue of whether Frank Burns is playing or not, and then he ends up playing. So they were nervy at the start for the first 10 minutes, but all it really took was 2 points, Paddy. One excellent score, and then they won the next kick out to go 4-2. And then they've really kicked on after that, and they're in a very command position here, and you can hear the roars of the crowd from Galbally. Kevin Kelly punching their arms in the air there. They've got to be careful, because there's still a sting in this Pomeroy team. They've been there and they've done it before. Galbally haven't, but definitely on overall balance of play, you'd have to feel that a 3 point lead is an accurate reflection of the first half we've watched, Paddy.
There's no doubt about that, and I think without doubt as well that a goal in this game, either way, will have a massive impact, Mark.
Yeah, I think a goal for Galbally would end this game. but I think a goal for Pomeroy would really make the nerves come to the fore for Galbally, because they can't shake Pomeroy off. So the opening exchanges of the first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half are going to be crucial. I don't know if Pomeroy are going to be able to have the luxury of playing Frank Burns at a sweeper if this thing goes to 4 points, 5 points, or they don't get back towards level terms. He's such a good scoring threat as well. They might have to push him up. They're going to try and get Kieran McGeary more on the ball. They're going to try and get more from Ryan Lougher in the middle of the field as well, but they've got to clamp down on the attack coming through from deep, because Liam Rafferty, Ronan Nugent, 2 half-backs, Paddy, have 2 points each, and you've Enda McGarty with 2 points in the middle of the field, so that's 6 points from play from 2 half-backs and 2 midfielders. That's a massive turnaround, and that's something they're going to have to work on stopping, as the runners from deep.
They're digging in as well, and the one thing about this Galbally side, Mark, we'll hear from the boys on the sideline in a moment, but there's one thing about this Galbally side, they know how to dig out games as well, as they did against Greencastle.
Yeah, well, the expectation was all on Galbally after 2 huge victories over Strabane and Ahiyarn, okay, but that sets you up for an awful fall, and Greencastle are championship experts with Sean Teague over them as well. They were going into that game relishing the chance of taking Galbally out, and they very nearly did. So for Galbally, it was a very grounding experience. I think it did them no harm whatsoever. I think in fact it did them an awful lot of good, and it has left them coming in here that when the nerves went, which were going to be in the first opening exchanges, they've now settled down to play some lovely football, and they've got a great balance in their full forward line for me of Cormac Donnelly in the air. He's also kicked a lovely free kick, and Daniel Kerr, okay, he's only scored 1 point, but he is electric, and he's causing Q-Pat McGeary no end of problems in there. So that there's scores coming from everywhere for Galbally, and they've found their range, especially as the first half drew to an end there, Paddy.
Absolutely, it's an entertaining game here, and all the substitutes out warming up here in the second half. You just look at the size of the squad that Galbally side have. An awful lot of numbers out there, a lot of big players there as well. And just looking there at well, Conor Donaghy now leads the way in terms of the scoring charts there, I think, after today's does he? No, he's level now on points with Cathal McShane, Ollie McCreesh closing in there as well. So a lot of things up for grab in this second half, of course, as well. I think we're ready to go to the sideline here, where Eugene McConnell has a couple of guests. We'll hear the half-time details from them. A wee bit of analysis to hear how the game has been going here, and what everybody thinks about that side, on about how the game has went so far from the sideline. Over there to Eugene on the far side of the ground.
Okay, it's half time here in Healy Park in Omagh today in the LCC Group Intermediate Championship Final, and an epic battle between 2 local rivals, a real parish derby. We had Pomeroy getting off to a whirlwind start there, going 4 points up. Galbally have come back with an inspirational last 10-minute spell there, Joe. How have you seen the first half go there?
Just, Eugene, how you said it, Pomeroy really got off to a great start. Galbally just didn't settle, and any time we got a ball, we started playing ball from the middle of the park, and Frank Burns had a field day. He was just cleaning things up. In fairness, Frank Burns took a bit of a knock, and we started playing football. We started trying to play through the lines. We got attacked their full back line, and that's how we started picking off our scores.
Yeah, it was 15 minutes into the game before Galbally registered their first point, and then came 2 straight after on the bounce. Then an inspirational score there from Liam Rafferty seemed to really add a spark to the Galbally attack.
I think that's what we did. Liam's an experienced player now, even though he's a young lad. He's an experienced lad now with county experience, so he knew what he had to do. He drove with the heart of the Pomeroy defence, and he took a score. And the other lads have seen the same thing to do and gone at it. I think we've got maybe 6 or 7 different scores. They're all playing well now.
Yeah, funny you were just about to say that. I think there's 6 different scores for Galbally, and they've all been top drawer in terms of, in front of the scoring zone, pop it over, take your chance, and that's what Galbally's certainly doing in the first half.
The last 15-20 minutes has shown really Galbaly's been well drilled all year. The management have got them that score, you say the scoring zone, getting that ball into that, getting it into your scoring forwards. And we're lucky now we've got 6 forwards that are slotting them over. I think we've only got 1 from frees.
And Brendan, we'll move to Brendan Fullen here, a real Pomeroy Plunkett man through and through. Brendan, the former chairman of the club, and in centenary year, Brendan, you were the chairman of the club, and today it's a great occasion for the Plunketts to be back here in an intermediate final.
Oh, it's fantastic, Eugene, especially with the 4 Tyrone lads out there. Look, we come out of the traps. We were extremely good. We went 4 up. We lost Martin McCreesh, our number 1 keeper. It lost the dynamics for us. and our kick-outs haven't been as good. That's no fault of Anthony. He's just coming back from a cruciate knee ligament operation. We're glad to have half-time come when it came. Galbaly's a good side. They're a well-drilled side. I've watched them several times this year, and they control it from the back line. And look, they're unbeaten for a reason. We're glad of the half-time whistle. We're glad to be going in and we'll regroup. We'll come out good in the second half.
I'm just thinking here, Brendan, it was 1999, you captained the Plunketts in the junior final, and it's great to be back in an occasion like this here with the atmosphere and the colour and the four teams really that are making up the junior and intermediate final today. It's been a real special occasion for that whole sort of catchment area in round Pomeroy, Kildress, the Rock, and of course Galbally.
Oh, look, sure, at Oma today, there's nobody in them places. It would be the perfect opportunity for the criminal to take the white transit van and raid a few houses. But that's why we're all here. That's what GAA football's all about. So it is. It's about community spirit, and anything happens. It's the GAA involvement that makes it happen. So it does.
Well, how do you see the second hand panning out here, Brendan?
Look, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll come out again. We're glad of half time, as I've said. We'll go in, we'll reshape, and hopefully Frank seems to be carrying an injury there, and Joe here hit on it, and hopefully Michaela McGuigan, who's the physio, get a bit of work on him, and hopefully he'll come good in the second half for us.
And from Galbally to finish off, Joe, Galbally have finished strong in the first half there. Do you think they can move on into the second half just where they have finished off and kill out the game?
I think that's what it's going to be about. It's about just regrouping at half time. Pomeroy's going to be no different. Galbally regroup at half time. It's 0-0. Win the second half and you win the intermediate championship, and it's as simple as that.
I just want to acknowledge and probably say hello to quite a few people across the world. There seems to be an awful lot of Galbally and Pomeroy exiles across the world here. The messages that are coming in, good luck to both clubs. A couple spring to mind there, Marie Claire and Sean and Dahi in the Bronx in New York. And there's a couple of others there from Thailand, a fella Kane.
Aye, Anthony, a nephew of my own would be watching it. My mother's here for the first time. I don't think she ever watched me playing football, but she'll go and watch everybody else play football. But no, here, Brandon touched on it. This is fantastic. It's a great initiative by the Tyrone County Board to get this up and running and give the Tyrone Gaels and Gaels from around the world an opportunity to see what the display that we can put on here. Both clubs were the four clubs. As you said earlier on, there's just 4 wee clubs from a rural part of Tyrone, and when you see what they're doing, the development that's going on in Pomeroy, the development that's going on in Kildress, the development that's happening in the Rock, and obviously the big development that we've had up in Galbally over recent years, the GAA is a foundation of parish life and life in Tyrone especially, but other counties all around the world, and this is great to see.
And there we have it from two real stalwarts of their communities, Brendan Fullen and Joe Cassidy. For those that maybe don't remember, Joe lined out for Tyrone in the '94 Ulster final against Down.
I can hardly mind it, Eugene, it's that long ago. That's the last century, fella.
Again, Eugene, now, you see, the thing about this, Galbaly's trying to do what Pomeroy has done a few times, win an intermediate championship.
Well, that's it. This is our first.
I just like to say hello to them my New York friends and relatives.
Well, there you have it, folks, from, as I say, two very ardent Galbally and Pomeroy stalwarts, and they're shaking hands here, and I'll hand you back to the studio, and a big hello to all the Gaels across the world who are tuning in to Tyrone GA TV in conjunction with Todsley. It's over now to Paddy and Mark back in the studio.
No problem, Eugene there. Eugene getting the message from all around the world there, and that's great to be, I suppose, great to be broadcasting everywhere around the world today for the Tyrone Junior and Intermediate Football Finals. And of course, next week it's the Senior Football Final between Errigal Kieran and of course Trillick. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in a few moments with exclusive coverage of the Tyrone Intermediate Football Championship Final. Finally poised here at Healy Park. It's Galbally 10 points, Pomeroy 7 points as we break.
Todsley here in the foothills of Tyrone, the very popular activity centre. I'm here, Adrian Logan, reporting on strange goings on. Local residents maintain that the people in Todsley have unearthed an ancient burial ground. Since that has happened, there's been some very serious and sinister goings on. In case you didn't understand the gravity of this situation, this is really serious. I'm with a concerned resident who's that worried about the whole issue. She has refused to release her identity. Bernie Canavan, what is the problem?
Well, to be honest, Adrian, we're just sick of it. Since this Todd Sleep moved in here, there's nothing but noise, Christmas time, red and green men running all over the place.
But they're Mayo supporters.
No, Adrian, that's not. No, you're just making far too light of this. This is very serious. We have to live here. We have to sleep here. We just got the sense that there was something uncovered.
You're very worried, Bernie.
I am very worried. Yeah, we have to live here.
Hey, mate, what are you doing? Get out of here. Bernie, what are you saying, Don?
Hey, what are you at? What are you at?
Go away.
Hey, get your hands
Don't
who do
get
you think
me
you
up
are?
here. Clear off. Way back and get it.
Where you at? Hey, tell you what, we'll soon sort this issue. I can tell you, I'm going to solve this. As you can see, we have managed to get past security. Bernie has taken me here to the top gate. Now let's go and investigate. Let's see what's really happening behind the scenes at Todd's Leap.
You'll not get out of there, Logie.
You want to bet?